everyone, I am Vanessa Hayes. I work for Laramie County Library in the Youth and Outreach Services, and today I'm doing a how-to video on quilling, and it's a really fun craft project to do that you can do at home, and you have very simple amount of supplies to use to do it. All right, let's get started. Now we're going to talk about design really quick. So what you do after you have quilled yourself some paper, then that's when you go in and you start laying out where you want to put things. So if I was going to start this design, I think I'd want to start with these two pieces over on each end here. And I would add another one over here and another one over here, and that's how I would start my design. From there you can start adding pieces before gluing them down just to get an idea of how it's laid out. You can put things wherever you want them. This is fun. You get to play with this however you like. You can choose where things go. You can put them side by side. You can put them across from each other. Again, it's balanced however you like. If you enjoy having different things on opposite ends or different all around, that is totally up to you, and it'll look just as great. Or you can copy, and so you have, if there's a teardrop here, you can put a teardrop here, kind of like I did with this design here. We had copies of similar things across from each other. So these two are across from each other, these two are across from each other, and these two are next to each other, and they follow that way around the design. But you don't have to do it that way. It's just a suggestion, just an option, but you can move things around before gluing them down so you can get an idea of where you want to place them, which is really nice because then you have an idea of where to take the design. But you can add stuff, you can turn the square any direction. That's what's awesome, is you can turn any of these any direction and meet them up however you want. But that would be basically where you would start. And then once you have an idea of where things you want to sit, if you really like how the design sits, you might want to take a picture of it just so you remember where everything was sitting so that you can add it. Now we're going to talk about gluing things down. Be careful when you're moving paper, because even though you apply gentle pressure, you can accidentally reshape them if you grab them too hard. So be gentle when you pick things up, okay? All right, so when we're gluing things down, you basically get, again, not a lot of glue, and you turn over your design and you apply it on, tapping it works really well. If it's not coming off though and you're not getting quite enough, you can drag it across the edges. And again, this is not much glue. You don't have to put it all over the entire design, just the main body important areas, like this really thick curl. You probably want to have that as a pretty solid base. You can get a little bit more glue and just tap it on there and around the edge a little bit on your bigger design so that you have just a little bit of glue. You can kind of see it here on the blue paper. You can see that, that's a lot, but you have a little bit of glue all around the edge here. So it'll help hold it in place so that it won't fall off, okay? So once you get a decent amount of glue on there, what you do is you go back to where you had it and you put it down where you want it. And what's great, before the glue dries, you have a little bit of leeway to move things around how you want them. So if you want it touching the edge over here, just move it over. If you want it more down towards the bottom down here, just move it over. Try not to apply pressure on top until it's in the place that you want it. I want it more towards the triangle over here, so I'm going to push it up there, and then I'm going to apply gentle pressure, just gentle pressure. Just lightly push it down so that it's attached, so the glue actually makes contact with the design underneath. So you push it down and then you let it sit. And when it's done, it's going to be attached really nicely to your paper. And that is how you do your quilling. And then again, you just add more pieces to your design until you have a full design. You can fill all of this space if you want to. You can fill all of these gaps if you want to on the paper. Or you can leave gaps like I did so you have some of the paper design showing through. But again, if you just take we'll go ahead and apply this arrow. We'll put it on this spot right over here. And again, as you can see from the back of this one, it does not have to lay exactly on top. You can go over your design, but you can On the back side, you can see how this overlaps on the outside, and that's completely fine. You do this how you want to, and if it looks great, it'll look great either way. And if you like how it looks that way, do it that way. All right, so again, you take your glue and just kind of tap it on there. Just tap. Just tap it on your edges, because the edges are the most important part, so that it has a really sturdy base and it doesn't just pop off. But you don't need a lot of glue. Again, this is very, very small amounts, okay? And then when you have a decent amount of glue on there, you take your design and you put it down, and I'm gonna match mine up with the top of the triangle over here. And then you're just gonna press down. And just press down for a second, make sure that all of it's had contact with the paper. You're gonna have to be careful because I did accidentally get some glue up at the top here, so I would just go back and touch it just to make sure that I get the glue off so it doesn't stick to the table, because you don't want to glue your project to your table. So that way, and I don't have enough glue over here, so I would just take my toothpick and I just gently put it under the corner over here, just lift it up just a little bit to put some glue, and then push it down. And see how it already stuck to itself down really quickly after I added just that little bit of glue? So it already is sticking really nicely. Again, just apply gentle pressure to help make sure it's adhered to it, so it's stuck to it really nicely. And there you go. And again, you just start adding pieces. So again, if you wanted to, you could start laying out where the rest of these go. So there's one here. And then you can add a couple smaller circles here, however you want to do it. But yeah, you could just lay out how you want your design to go and build up from there. If you're not sure, just make a couple of your fun designs, a couple of different ideas, and test them out. Put them in there, see if they fit. If they don't fit, you can always take them off before you glue them down. Just remember, if you glue it down, it's going to be a little bit trickier to remove. But that is how you do your quilling project. If you do run out of paper, do let us know. We'll help you out, or you can cut your own. All right? All right, guys. Have fun.